The Washington Post is reporting that Tucker Carlson has been in talks with Donald Trump. Apparently, Carlson is considering having some sort of Republican primary forum outside of the Republican National Committee in order to, have the Republican candidates duke it out. Now, Trump is interested in this, and here's what the Washington Post reports. Carlson wants to moderate his own GOP candidate forum outside of the usual strictures of the Republican National Committee debate system. The idea, which he has discussed with Donald Trump, the front runner for now for the party, would test his vaunted sway over conservative politics. It's worth noting, again, for the billionth time, that internally, privately, Tucker Carlson has thought of and refers to Donald Trump as a demonic force. So now that he's out at Fox, he's been fired. I'm just really curious to see where he's headed to next. But I want to be clear, I actually think the idea of doing these types of debates or these forums outside of the context of the establishment could actually be really good, because I think there's too much power concentrated in the establishment.
Yeah, I totally agree. So look, the Republicans have a better chance, if we're being honest, than the Democrats of breaking any kind of power structure, because the Democratic Party would never allow you to have a debate outside of the DNC parameters. And if you did, they'd want to banish not only the media organization that did it, but the candidates, and punish them by not allowing them to be in the other debates, etc. But then when you ask for a debate, they say no, Biden, it's not permitted to debate Biden, because obviously Biden could get humiliated in a debate. So they're not going to allow it at all. And look, I want to break that blockade, and we're going to try super hard to break that blockade later. But to be fair to the Republicans, Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson break those kind of bad rules all the time. They also break good rules and good laws, but when it comes to a nonsensical rule like, it has to be done through the GOP and in exactly the ways that the establishment demand, no, that's Trump as an outsider candidate. Even though he was president of the United States, the establishment is not on his side. He's like, no, so what? I'm going to break through. What are you going to do now? And he's got a giant lead in the Republican primary, 20, 30 points, right? So, okay, you don't want to show up to that debate, then it'll be Trump and Tucker doing a giant ad for Donald Trump. So I can't stand either one of them, but I like this development.
I like this development too, because it is important, in my opinion, to weaken the current power structures that basically control everything, right? When you think about what the DNC, so let's think about it in the context of our side of the aisle. The DNC refusing, at least for now, to hold a single Democratic primary debate, that's them putting their thumb on the scale. That's them intentionally suppressing anyone in the Democratic voting base from knowing about Marianne Williamson or any other candidate who might want to primary Joe Biden. This is their way of ensuring that their preferred candidate, of course the incumbent in this case, is propped up. It's disgusting.
100%. And look, when Bernie was running against Hillary Clinton in 2016, they put the debates like late on Friday nights whenever there was football games, because football games rate so well on TV. They had a tiny number of debates. The Republicans had a mess on their side, 17 different people. They had I forget now, but dozens of debates. It was unbelievable how many debates they had. They debate after debate after debate. Well, what happened? They piled up tons of free media, all talking about Republican positions. Hey, is the extreme right-wing position better, or the slightly less extreme right-wing position better? But that's getting tons of publicity. Over there on the Democratic side, crickets, almost no publicity. So that was like $1 billion difference. And guess who won? The Republicans won. Even though they had a contentious primary with tons of heated debates where they ripped each other's faces off. But has the mainstream media and establishment Democrats learned anything from that? Nothing at all. Every piece of the media and establishment today says, no, primaries hurt. That you should not do a primary, because that could really hurt. You're helping Trump. You're helping Trump. Okay, but wait a minute. The primaries help. In 2020, Biden went through a primary with 27 other people, and it made him a stronger candidate, and he won. Look, they're completely counterfactual. So now when you say, hey, can we at least get one debate, two debates, anything like that? They go, nope. If you challenge Biden, he'll obviously fall apart, and that'll help Trump. Then maybe it shouldn't be Biden. Okay.
Exactly. So let's get back to Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump, because there's this fun element of dissing Fox that I kind of actually enjoy quite a bit. So Fox is hosting the first official primary debate, which Trump has threatened not to attend if he can manage to make his grandest plan happen. So look, I think it's stupid to say like, no, I'm not gonna participate in the debate, right? Unless there's truly something unjust involved in the planning of that debate. In this case, if Trump refuses to do a primary debate at Fox and then ends up doing this forum idea with Tucker, I just enjoy the hot goss and I love the drama, so that could be fun.
So last two things on this for me. Number one, Tucker Carlson would have to break his $20 million a year contract to do it. But the contract runs through 2024, and this could be, well, if it's early in the process, which is it would have to be in the primaries, it would be early 2024 or maybe even 2023, late this year. In which case, it costs Tucker about $20 million. So in that case, Tucker's going to have a backup plan, and he's going to have whatever his media enterprise is ready to go. And then he does the debate and plugs his new outlet so that he could try to make up the $20 million. So that's what's happening behind the scenes.
Let me just also give the, I think, obvious point of Tucker, because of his extreme wealth, doesn't have to do anything. He could just go away, but they just can't help it, right? Like he can't help it.
No, but even for guys who have that much money, $20 million is still a good number that you're gonna wanna keep in one way or another. And then Mark Ajayi on Super Chat made a good point. I have a hunch that Donald Trump might get Tucker to run as his VP. Well, look, previously I said he's almost definitely gonna pick a woman. It's almost definitely going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene or Carrie Lake, most likely Carrie Lake, okay? I have a number of reasons we talked about in the past. But now, for the first time, I'm thinking, well, if Tucker does this, it's not impossible because now they're beginning to collaborate. Now, it would be outrageous for Tucker to moderate a debate and then turn around and become his VP. But do you think that Tucker or Trump would care?
Guys, like the thing that you say repeatedly about Tucker is he's a terrible person, but he's not dumb. He's a smart guy.
Totally, yep.
So let's actually put this to the test, because if he agrees to be Trump's VP, he is not a smart guy.
Well, there's only one hitch to that. So Trump is impossible to please, and we know that Tucker knows that because of his leaked text.
Exactly.
Right? And he knows that Trump will destroy him and ask him to do unreasonable things, etc. because he's smart, he knows that. Now, having said that, Trump theoretically can't run again if he wins the presidency, which would leave it to his VP to take up the mantle in 2028. And that is really, really tempting. It won't work out. Trump will crush whoever his VP is, and by the end he'll look to execute him, like he did with Mike Pence. But it is super tempting, so we'll see if Tucker reaches for the ring. Precious. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.